let's get this baby filmed so I can take a nap. Hey howdy, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would just go over the books that are left on my list of books that I want to read in 2020. At the beginning of the year, I made a list of, I think there was originally 12 books on it that I wanted to get to in 2020 no matter what. They're books that I'd been wanting to read really badly or had been wanting to read for a really long time. And so I made a list and decided that I would absolutely get to them this year. And I have read a good chunk of books on that list. There's only 6 left, but I thought it would be fun to go over those 6 books with you so you know what I need to finish reading in this year. The first one I'm not going to spend too long talking about because I have already talked about it in other videos, but it is Missoula by Jon Krakauer. This book I am planning to get to this month still. My reading is going a little slower than I would like it to, so it might not happen, but I'm hopeful. I'm keeping my head up. We're only a little over halfway through the month now, so we'll see. I'm not going to go over the plot of it. If you want to know more about what it's about, then you can check out my September TBR, and I talk about it in there. The next book that I really want to get to in 2020 is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I have never read a Brandon Sanderson book. I'm not a big fantasy reader, but Brandon Sanderson is somebody who is well loved by the entire reading community. And this book in particular got a lot of attention last year, and so I have been wanting to pick it up. It is supposed to be about a girl who becomes a pilot in some kind of spacey kind of setting. Space fantasy in space. I don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, this girl becomes a pilot. She's going to flight school, and it just kind of follows her journey through that and her steps to becoming a pilot, and I have heard great things about it. The second one is out now. I've also heard great things about the second one, and so I really want to get to this one before the year's over. The next book on my list of books that I absolutely want to get to in 2020 is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This book is one of BookTube's favorites for sure. I see it all the time on all sorts of people's channels. Lots of people love it. Some people don't love it. It seems like a book I would really enjoy. It is a mystery that kind of follows a time loop. Basically, Evelyn Hardcastle dies, and somebody, the main character, has to keep reliving the day she dies until they discover who her murderer is. So it sounds like a really interesting premise, and I am eager to get to it. The next book I want to read was one that I was initially planning to read last month and this month, but now it seems like it might not happen in either month. Out of all of these books, this is the one that I'm really not sure if it's gonna make it in this year. And that is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I have already talked about this one in other videos as well. This book is a John Steinbeck classic, similar to his other books, Grapes of Wrath, Of Mice and Men. It follows a natural disaster that takes place in California and kind of how people's lives are affected surrounding this disaster. So I really want to get to it this year, but it is a very chunky boy, and that, I think, is what's holding me back from reading it. John Steinbeck is harder to read at the best of times because he is an older author, so it does have kind of a classic literature feel to it, which, you know, can sometimes take a little longer to get through, and the fact that this one is so big just really makes me not super eager to pick it up. I do really, really want to read it, but I know it's going to take me a while, and the fact that I know it's going to take me a while is what's keeping me from reading it. Because I'm in a place right now where I just am really wanting to finish books, so like pick them up, finish them within a few days, mark them off my list, and I know that this one isn't going to be that, which is what is keeping me from reading it. I know I'm not going to get to it this month. There's just too many long books on my list already, and it's just not going to happen. I'm hopeful that maybe I'll have time to finish it later in the year, but with what I'm planning to do next month, it's just not gonna be feasible. I'm hoping November will be the month, but we'll see. You'll be seeing this book again, that's for sure. The next book that I definitely want to get to in 2020 is another classic. It's The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I love Ray Bradbury. Dandelion Wine is one of my all-time favorite books. Fahrenheit 451 I'm not particularly a huge fan of, but I do like it. And so I've been wanting to read more of Ray Bradbury's work ever since then. This is also one of the hosts of My Favorite Murder, Georgia Hardstark. This is one of her favorite books. She wrote about it in their book, Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murdered. And so ever since then, I've been wanting to pick it up. And so I'm hoping this year will be the year. It's about Mars, obviously, and people that live on Mars. So it's definitely up my alley. I just realized there's a weirdly large amount of sci-fi on this list. I don't know if that was a thing I was doing at the beginning of the year, but... And then the last book that I want to get to this year is another big boy, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. I got the edition that has these blue sprayed edges. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have been wanting to read Dune for a very long time, and the fact that the movie is coming out in December with Timothée Chalamet in it is what has really encouraged me to put it on my list this year. The movie comes out in December, so I'm hoping to get to it in either November or December. And it is a sci-fi classic about a world where women hold all the power, and then basically this man comes in and he ends up being the most powerful, which already I have some issues with that power dynamic, but everybody loves it. Everybody loves Dune, and it's a sci-fi classic, so I'm gonna read it and hopefully enjoy it. It once again is another chunky boy, but I'm hopeful. And there you have it. Those are 6 books that I want to get to before the end of 2020. So sometime in the next few months. I can't even believe 2020 is almost over at this point. It feels like it has both flown by and also been 800 years. So it's a weird vibe for sure. Hopefully in 2021, we will be able to see a little bit of a difference from 2020, but I'm not holding out any hope. Whatever, let's just be thankful for the things we have, at least in 2020, because of all the being inside. I have gotten so much more books read than I usually would have, and so hopefully I can keep that momentum going into the next year as well. But I hope I'm able to get to these books before the end of the year. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to like it, give it a like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do that. Also, make sure you check out the link in the description that will show you to all my socials. I've been posting, I just started posting some bookish reels on Instagram, so definitely go check those out if you're looking for some more bookish content from me. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!